actually due back anyway?
The 17th of January.
Ah, okay. Yeah, you got some.
I'm so sad because I go back to work on the 20th of January, and I feel like I don't even remember what my job is right now. So I'm about to rock up there and be like, so guys,
Okay, can you retrain me?
what's up? Remind me of what I do. I was only there for like 6 months.
Oh,
I started in the end of May,
okay.
so I'm still new in my first year.
But it is enjoyable.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
quite chill. It's way more chill compared to my last job, and it's kind of interesting because I get to learn about different topics that I normally wouldn't learn about. So interesting.
Keeps the mind open.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I get to do presenting and talk with people across the business. I remember though, before this, we had like the Christmas party, and I went to the after party. And so at that point I was drunk. And I remember like, because I'm still new, so I was like connecting with colleagues.
Okay.
So I feel like I'm gonna have to like reintroduce myself to them when I get back there, because it's so weird in that office. Like, I think I told you this, that the black people do not band together. It's weird.
Did you?
So you're kind of
I think I remember you
on your
vaguely-
own out there.
Wow. So then, that's a bit okay. What do you think happened there?
What, sorry?
I said, what do you think happened there?
I think it's a cultural thing. Personally, I think it's the UK, like, because it's such a racist country. I think that people, and I know that back in the day, let's take it even further back. So, you know, like the civil rights movement happened in the U.S., like all the black people had to band together because they were fighting the movement.
Right.
And so that did happen here in the UK, maybe like in the 80s. But once things settled down, I think they kind of disbanded. And there was a lot of beef between if you're African, if you're Caribbean, whatever.
Yeah.
That never dissipated. That didn't go anywhere.
Right.
And I think that UK people, in general, the culture is more reserved. Like, I remember when I first came here and I was like, good morning. I was saying good morning to people. You know, in the U.S., Southern people serve hospitality. Good morning, good night,
Yeah.
And people just look at you like you're wild. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
So I think it's part culture, but part like, I don't think like there's safety in the black experience here. And so I feel like people are quite
apprehensive,
nervous to like be banded together. That makes sense?
Yeah.
As other black people, you kind of keep to yourself and like develop your relationship with your team versus like other black
rest.
people. That's what I'm seeing. And I will say it wasn't like this in my last job, because I think there was like 50 of us, and so it's a smaller team, and all the black people we were cool, like we would sit together, But now I'm working with 500 people in this building, so
wow.
And maybe definitely less than 10 people, black people I've seen in that building.
500. Wow. Okay. Damn. Okay. What do you reckon could fix that? From your observation, what
do
you reckon?
What
do you
could
reckon?
fix that?
Yeah. Because you've observed it.
I think more awareness of like the black identity development. Like, I don't know if you've heard of black identity development.
I can imagine. Go on.
You haven't?
No, but I could imagine. Go on. Tell me.
Well, you can imagine it. So, like, basically, again, as a result of the civil rights movement, there were a bunch of different like people who were studying how different races develop, and so black identity development. You go from like not realizing that you're marginalized to having your first experience of racism and being like, oh shit, I'm different. And then you kind of fall into like this, I want to say like a sad, you move into like a sad era, I guess you could say, where you're not wanting to be perceived as such. But then you have to move through that to start to embrace your blackness and other blackness. And then eventually you get to a place of acculturation where you just have appreciation for all cultures. I feel like people are stuck in having to like the microaggressions at this office are like, I think the racism is it's not in your face, right? It's like the light racism, subtle. And so I feel like people have to put their mask on, and they're just wearing their mask all the time. That's what I feel when I'm in the office. Like, you know, you have to wear. You never heard of like having to wear your mask?
Oh yeah.
Code switching.
Yeah.
I feel like people are doing that for like survival.
Oh shit.
Code switching for survival, and like they just don't feel safe. And so like what I noticed in the USA, like they'll have like employee networks, like for Black people, for Asian people, for Latinos, Latinx people. They would have like employee networks where you can get together and meet with people of your race and come together and discuss things. They don't have that here. So
Yeah,
I just think they're behind with the times, and they're just stuck in like having to mask, and like it's in that, I think they're still in that survival mindset, my opinion, of like having to navigate the day-to-day racism in the office or just in general. I think the UK is quite behind, just because, again, other jobs that I've worked in the US, like when there was like a team I worked on, there was like 16 of us. All of us Black people, we banded together. All of us, for the most part. We were together, even if we didn't like necessarily like each other in some respects. Just like when it, you know, when there was like a police killing, whatever, we would come together and like discuss things. Like, I don't know. I think it's a mixture of those things.
No, it's really good points.